Oh my gosh, this is gonna be awesome. Hi everyone, Big Mac here. Terry's feeling a little under the weather today, aren't you, Terry? Terry says, yeah, he's not up to it today. So I guess I'll have to do this one by myself today. Today we are going to review A Boy and His Blob, the remake slash reimagining on the Wii. Basically, just brief history lesson. This game came out in 1989, I believe, for the regular Nintendo. Same creator as the original Pitfall game, David Crane or David Byrne, one of those. Anyway, the story in both the original game and in this remake, story is pretty much the same. You're a boy who has no name, just boy, and you come upon a blob from the planet Blobolonia, because that's where all blobs come from, obviously. And as a last resort to try and get help, because Blobolonia has been taken over by evil blobs. It turns out that this blob really, really likes jelly beans, and depending on what kind of jelly bean you give him, blob will transform into a number of different things that you can use to help navigate through the levels. The original one was a lot more open-ended. You can walk to the left, walk to the right. A very big, massive world for you to explore. This one, actually, it's more 40 smaller linear levels. So you've got to, complete one to get to the next one. So, design-wise, it's quite different than the original, but still works out pretty well. So, for each level, you're going to get a certain set of jelly beans, and the different jelly beans are different flavors. They'll do different things for blobs. So, like the orange ones will turn him into a trampoline. I think the lime ones turn him into a jack, or like a tire jack, to lift up the car. So different flavors will grant blobs different abilities, and it's always different per level. So a really useful thing at the beginning of each level is to determine which jelly beans you have, so that way you can get an idea of what you're going to have to do when certain situations come up. For me, the engineer in me, found this pretty exciting, because it's like, okay, this is what we have. What can we do with it? So, in that sense, it's very methodical. You have to figure out what you're going to do with what do you have. How are you going to achieve that goal? So, you have to. That's what I love. I loved looking at the screen, the setup, and figuring out, okay, what do I have to do? What do I have to do? Do I put this there? I use that, and then put that up there. I put blob up there. It's I like that feeling. Figuring out where everything goes, and then trying to implement it, and then if it worked, awesome. If it didn't work, try again. Because sometimes there are parts in the game where you wish you had a certain jelly bean, but you don't. The graphics are pretty awesome. Also, check out the intro, the beginning video. You can find that online, and that is just kick ass. I remember watching that. I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be awesome. And I was not disappointed. So the graphics feel very much like Flash animation. Um, you can unlock certain concept art and stuff throughout the game as well. And so you can tell that a lot of this stuff was hand drawn and then implemented into the game's programming. So it does have that very multi-layered feel. There's the backgrounds, the foregrounds, there's little nuances, light bugs or vines, roaming around the stage. Just little things that help make these worlds feel, much more lively. Very colorful as well, even in dark worlds, or even in worlds where the ambiance is definitely not happy-go-lucky. But just the different mixes of colors. You can be in the middle of the darkest dungeon, and then there's a stained glass window or something, but then there's a bad guy behind it. So definitely very layered, and I feel like it was really well presented, just by the design. The controls, you use the Wiimote and Nunchuck combo. Wiimote and Nunchuck. For the most part, it's alright, but it never quite feels fluid. Because, you have to hold down a button to select your jelly bean, then you have to use the Nunchuck to project it, to send it on its trajectory. And, that'll also come into play, like where you throw a jelly bean and not just what item you use will come into play later. But, so the controls never feel exactly, second nature at all. I find myself pressing the wrong button, a lot, and occasionally that does cause you to die a bit, like if you fall off a ledge or something, and I did glitch a couple times during the game, nothing major, but I mean, it was a bummer when I died, but it's not too big a deal because this is one of the good parts about the game. There is an unlimited number of lives. So you don't have to worry about dying. There's no game over screen. You have to start back from the beginning, which is really, really useful in that sense. The other good thing is you have an unlimited number of jelly beans. Unlike in the original, once you use up the ones, you gotta go get more. In this one, if you have the jelly bean to start with at the beginning of the level, then you have an unlimited number of them throughout the whole level. Again, the only problem is the list of jelly beans that you have will change from level to level. And actually, like even in your list of where they'll be, they can be in different spots. So it's always useful to double check and make sure what you have at the beginning of each level. Like I mentioned earlier, you can unlock some bonus material. Each main stage has 3 treasure chests, and if you find all 3, activates a mini level or like a side level. And if you can then clear that side level, that enables you to unlock bonus content, concept art, production videos, different kinds of stuff. So it definitely helps in realizing the making of this game. Another thing that is just awesome, it's cute. It's just cute. Um, Using the Wiimote, if you press up on it while Blob is near, you get to hug Blob. You get to go, Blob, you're my friend. Blob, you're my friend. Cool. And turn it into a trampoline. I don't know. It's just a really cute thing to do, and it's good for when you as the player get frustrated. So, it's a little breather time because there's no time limit. There's just you and the end of the level. Just figure out how to get to the end of the level, and that's good. Let's see here. Bad things about this game, like I mentioned, the controls are a little shaky, but not destructively. One thing that's a little bit of an annoyance is loading. Every screen has to load, even if it's like during the same level. You go through a doorway, and it has to load the next screen. I don't know why that is. I would think that these games would have a little bit more continuity between them, but every time it had to reload a new screen. So, after a while it stopped getting annoying, but it was like, why is it loading again? And, it can be a little bit frustrating. Overall, I liked it, but this game is not going to be for everybody. The pace of it is quite slow. So it is a 2D platformer, very much like Mario Brothers or something, but the objective is not to get to the end and get the most points and have fire flowers that can kill all the bad guys. This one you just got your blob, a couple of jelly beans, and you just need to figure out your way to the exit. So overall, I give this game a yes. I think it's awesome. You can find it normally around 30 or 40 bucks new. It could be a rental also because 10 hours just to get through the main game, plus explore a little bit of the mini levels, some of the concept art and materials that come with the game. I'm planning to go back and find out all the bonus material because the mini levels can also be quite challenging. Especially since there's no checkpoints at all during them. So if you die, you have to start back at the beginning. So yeah, this game is hard, and it's very linear. You have to continue each level to get to the next. Grape jelly beans are awesome. They're kick ass. All right, this is Big Mac saying later.